there are steps you can take that are a little bit safer. One is, be careful about apps that you're downloading. One app that just about everybody listening to this probably has on their phone, and they should be scared of that, is
Welcome to the Shrouded Realities Podcast. We got a fun, exciting, special episode today. We're rocking some cool equipment. This was a little bit of a surprise for us. We didn't know this was happening today, and our special guest brought it in, hooked us up.
That's what I'm here for.
He let us know what we don't know, and now we know.
Well, you're pretending that I know what I'm doing. As far as you know, this is going to be garbage when it's done.
So our mantra is 3 idiots. Today we are 2 idiots and an informed citizen.
That's right.
So you got
how this goes down today.
We're here. You're here. Just to let you know.
I think you're giving me too much credit.
Yeah.
I've just been making stuff up for like 10 years.
Hey, that's what most people do.
That's kind of what we're doing.
That's kind of what we do. We just talk it out, get it out in the open, say it whether it makes sense or not.
Hey man, that's all you got to do.
Then we throw
Fake
out.
it till you make it.
Yep. So I'm Joey. We got Steven, and we've got Zach.
I'm Zach.
Zach's our informed citizen.
That's me.
That's right.
Appreciate you coming in. Appreciate you hooking us up with some cool lighting and cameras, and we're going to have to make some investments, but we're
It's
excited.
about time I did something with it. You know, it just sits in a closet most of the time.
Yeah. So you used to be a wedding videographer. What's the word of it?
Videographer is correct. Yeah. I mean, used to be. I did some this past weekend. Like I'm still doing some of them. It's just
Don't use
not as frequent as it used to be.
Gotcha. Well, today we're talking about we don't even really have a name yet.
We really don't. I don't really know what to call it. Your phone knows.
The phone's listening.
Yeah, just your phone is listening to you.
Big brother.
That's all it is.
But is it technically listening? Is it?
It's always
Does it
listening.
hear the words coming out of your mouth?
Your phone
and
is tracking you?
Maybe
tracking?
that's better.
Tracking, but it is listening too. You type in, "Is my phone listening to you?" in a Google search, and all of them say yes.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we can all say certain launch phrases and a certain assistant will help you no matter what kind of phone you have.
So it's
got to be listening.
It's got to be listening all the time for it to know. If I said the words, I'm not going to where everybody's phone gets triggered right now.
I think we should, just going to be fun.
Yeah. What's up, Siri?
Don't do that. Stop.
There it is. Dadgummit.
Hey, Google.
Don't stop.
Dadgummit. Stop that.
Luckily, it didn't work. I guess they know we don't want it on right now,
Yeah,
which is
that's right.
creepy. But the creepiest part to me about all of this is everyone knows this information. What we're saying right now is not a shrouded reality.
No.
Everybody knows your phone's
And
listening,
you're
and
accepting
nobody cares. You just accept it, like you said.
Yeah, like you're literally, when you download an app, you're hitting agree. You're like, okay, So you know what, Snapchat? Yes, you can have everything that I know.
Don't care.
Yeah.
But we just roll with it.
Yeah,
and another thing, everyone agrees it's creepy.
I'm sure you've read every word of the terms of service right before you click agree on it. You know, it's only 3 paragraphs that are.
Have you seen the South Park episode? I know me and you've mentioned it.
Yeah.
The South Park thing. It was making fun of that gigantic user agreement, and it somewhere in it you agree to become a human centipede if Apple wants you to be.
Yeah. Well, actually,
super gross.
What was crazy?
It's hilarious.
I don't have any sources to cite that this was legit.
Hang on, one second. Don't go Google search human centipede.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Stay
Everyone
off of
on
it.
here.
The problem
trust
is
us. It's gross.
The problem is by you saying don't do it.
Everybody's
Everybody's
done it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I've already Googled it. I'm already there. I don't even have a phone in my hand or a laptop or anything. But
all right, all the moms out there, do not. We're not joking.
Don't
It's
go.
not
This
worth it.
isn't a joke. Don't look it up.
Don't, please.
Guys, I'm going to have to adjust my mic. It's making me
Go for it. It's
Yeah,
okay.
You're
All
good.
right.
You're good. We're
You
professionals.
just ruined the entire audio. But
gosh,
dang it.
Let's
We're
start
professionals.
over.
I'm sorry. What was you saying before I interrupted you about the human centipede?
Not about human centipede. I don't know if this is legit. I've heard it before. I've never fact checked myself.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've been told, at one point in the past, Apple's terms of service actually stated that they had a right to one of your kidneys. And people were agreeing to it, and it was actually legally binding that they could have just taken.
This is why we brought you on.
They had to take it out because, they were like, "Hey, this could actually be."
What would they do with my kidney though?
They were never going to use it. They were just like,
it was a joke. It
like,
was
yeah,
it was a legally binding
we
joke.
know nobody reads these, so why don't I just go ahead and say something about
That would
I'm gonna
really
take your
suck
kidneys.
if the CEO of Google was like,
need
it's
a
actually
kidney.
in there and I need a kidney.
And I want to do it.
Just find me a match. Someone that has an iPhone. I'm sure there's somebody out there.
that has Google at all.
So what is some power hungry nerd just sitting writing that some legal nerd just typing this stuff up and be like,
Oh yeah.
I have everyone's kidneys.
Yeah, you'd be shocked. Like, because people know nobody reads it, they
Yeah.
put all kinds of crazy stuff in there, and it's actually legally binding. Like,
Scary.
And who sits and reads that? I
Nobody.
mean, everybody scrolls to the bottom and hits agree.
yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, because nobody's
You
gonna
do it
sit
every
and read.
day.
Yeah. Well,
Most every day. I mean,
every
like,
time you install an app, you do that.
download
Yep.
anything.
That's
Interesting.
crazy.
Yep. Now you're gonna go read the terms of service for every.
I'm not. I'm not. I've given my kidneys to. I've got
Everybody's
both
got
of them
rights.
gone at this point.
At this point, yeah. Like, you're just an organ donor, and then but you're still
I'm
alive.
the
when you're
Google
donating
organ
them.
donor.
And none of us are centipedes yet, so
No.
I need to quit bringing that up.
Yeah,
You said it a couple times now. It's really gonna be. That's gonna be the search algorithm that catches us on this podcast. That's gonna be.
We're gonna be tied. We're gonna be tied to that movie.
Yeah.
That's gonna be. Yeah.
It's gonna, first result is the Wikipedia page. Second result is Shrouded Realities podcast.
That's not where we want to be.
It's not.
It's not,
Especially when
but you're-
Jesus comes back.
You've done
That's
this.
right.
You've done this to us, Joey.
I did, and I apologize to everyone of our listeners and everyone in this room. But yeah, so this could go multiple ways. It's really like big tech just controlling more than we're comfortable with, but everyone in the world is A-okay with it.
Yeah.
Kinda. Like, you're complicit regardless, no matter what, unless you just completely go full, what's his name, Kaczynski, and just go in the woods. And
Yeah.
But we don't want to blow
Yeah. I
people
mean,
up.
he went that he did well for himself. Oh,
Kaczynski?
Yeah.
You know he blew a bunch of people up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was a
okay.
joke there. Yeah.
Was it?
it kaboom.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Okay.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh, there. Okay, I get it. Dadgummit. See, this is why I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Just so
It
you-
falls in the idiot
Just
category
so I
there.
didn't know. I just brought down your IQ points a little bit. But
That's all right.
yeah. So Zach has a very specific set of skills, which makes him an informed citizen here. He is a IT guy / marketing
I just do a little bit of
Is-
all of it.
guru thing.
Guru's not a thing.
Not
For me at least. There's
Yeah.
definitely people. I dabble in a little bit of everything,
Okay.
and I know I retain information well. That's all it
Gotcha.
is.
So you got the IT semi expertise. You've got the advertising semi expertise, and that's kind of why we brought you in. You brought this up, said, "Hey, you should do an episode on why your phone listening to
Yeah.
you," and then you just started spitting facts at us, and we're like, "You got to come talk about them."
So yeah, what we were going over, like, there's
Let's do this without mentioning what we do for.
100%.
yeah. No, I'll keep it. Yeah, it's vague,
Should have
but
prepped that before, but yeah.
yeah. So the way the reason you think your phone might be listening to you with ads and stuff, and the fact that we know that your phone actually is listening, where we got to draw the delineation here is that your phone might be always listening, but is your phone actually comprehending? And is there someone on the other end listening to everything you're saying?
Probably not.
No, there's not really. And
Yeah,
I mean,
boring job.
yeah, it would
be
be
the worst.
Not, despite what Reddit would tell you, not everybody has an FBI agent that's dedicated to them.
Well,
So-
it is a funny joke, though.
It is
I
a
like
funny
it.
joke.
My FBI agent would be sad. You know?
yeah,
He'd be tore up.
yeah. So the difference is that your phone, it might be listening and it's looking for that launch phrase. But the best way I can put this, that your phone is probably not collecting information through your microphone in that sense. It's collecting some stuff. It's absolutely happening and some value. But how many times have you launched these voice assistants that we're talking about and they misunderstood you?
Fairly often.
Pretty
And
often.
I
You were-
barely use it because of that reason.
And you are intentionally trying to speak to your device and it can't understand you. So what
Right.
makes you think that you're just whispering something nearby and it knows what you're saying?
Gotcha.
Right? Like it's a bit of a long stretch.
Yeah.
So it's not as nefarious as that then.
Right.
It doesn't fall into like it's recording every word that you say and interpreting that to some database somewhere to store
Right.
forever.
For the Democratic Party to use against your demise. And
We do need to talk about that.
yeah.
Did you see old Chuck Schumer here the
Uh-uh.
past couple of days, what he's doing?
Uh-uh.
Well, we got to get rid of misinformation. I don't know if you saw that
Okay.
in the big tech conversation.
That came up?
Well, 30 days out of an election, you definitely need to be worried about the misinformation that's going on
Especially
right now.
how
And,
it played
yeah.
out in 2020.
Mhm. Yeah, it worked out great.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting off topic there. Go.
So what your phone actually is doing, right? And we've all seen the stuff online and think there was a specific example. There was a family that decided to test this and they pretended to have a dog. They didn't have a dog, but they just decided, you know what? We're going to talk about the dog near our phones. We're going to talk about, and they waited to see. And sure enough, they started getting ads for dog food.
Okay.
And they weren't before. And they started getting ads for specific things about the dog. They would say, hey, we need to go get this for the dog that doesn't exist.
Sure.
So a lot of people use that as an example for your phone is listening to you.
Yeah.
The thing is that when you're talking about a multi-month experience or experiment like that, and someone's trying to test the algorithm and push it, all it takes is one person walking too close to the dog food aisle in Walmart, and it triggers.
So this is exactly what I had zero idea about until you mentioned it a couple days ago.
So this is why people think, oh man, my phone is listening to everything it's saying. All it takes is our phones are constantly connecting to each other and talking to each other. And there's ways through marketing to set up geofences that are accurate to actually within 3 feet. So if you get within 3 feet of these geofences that someone sets up on a computer,
right,
that you walk into that geofence, your phone can become targeted for an ad for whatever geofence you walked into. So with them being so accurate, and you think about the fact that at Walmart, right, different retailers, different manufacturers can pick which shelves they are using in a Walmart.
Yep.
Meaning they can also geofence those shelves in a Walmart. And that's why like end-cap shelves at Walmart are actually a lot more expensive because they get more exposure to
Traffic.
people. But you can also set up a geofence around an end cap at a Walmart. And so if you pause too long next to the Cheez-Its at the end of the aisle at a Walmart,
it's going to advertise Cheez-Its.
It'll ping your phone and say, hey, you want some Cheez-Its? And you're going to go, I was just thinking about Cheez-Its. How did it read my mind?
How crazy is that? I was thinking about Cheez-Its. Here's Cheez-Its on my phone.
Yeah. And
So not only is your phone listening to you, there may or may not be a nerd writing down every word you say, but it's also tracking your location within 3 feet.
Yeah.
For marketing purposes.
And the craziest part of this is that once your phone gets targeted with an ad, you can actually piggyback on that phone and then head back home. And then your phone now becomes for lack of a better word, another geofence that infects the other phones in your household. So now everybody's getting Cheez-Its ads.
Fun.
Oh.
Wow.
So you did mention to me there is ways to cut that out and off a little bit to kind of protect yourself a little. So I do, towards the end of the show, I do want you to kind of give us some steps that we can share with people to help with that.
And a lot of the location tracking stuff, especially when you're talking about someone like Walmart, their app asks for your location. And you ever notice how convenient it is that you go to a Walmart and it opens up in store mode? That's also should just be called remarketing directly to you now mode.
Oh, wow.
Because you've given the app permission to say, you know where I am at all times.
Okay.
So is this, I mean, I'm sure that there's ways that this can be used nefariously, but I mean,
in the market
is its
or
use case mainly just to further capitalism? Is that basically like, I mean, that's all it's really used for at the moment?
That's a lot of it. It's really just marketing. At least that's my experience with it, is that it's all based around marketing. And one of the key things they'll try to tell you if you dig into this too much is that they know devices. They don't know people. They're only triggering a device.
How could that be true though?
So the difference is that your phone actually is, like, especially iPhones, they're really trying to protect your data. Apple's really big on that. There was a story a couple months ago, actually probably longer than that now, probably a couple years at this point. The FBI was looking for a guy. They went to Apple and said, hey, he has an iPhone, give us the data. And they said, no, we won't do it. Because they're trying to protect that data.
Sure.
Now, is that an after effect of Snowden and his whistleblow? Because there was a point in time, from what I understand, between 2001 and 2013, that all of it was free game to the government.
It still is to the government, I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's no way that they don't have.
We're talking about what they've made available to us. And there's no way for us to know what's actually happening behind closed doors. Yeah. As far as we know, that whole thing with the FBI was a marketing stunt.
They tell us what they want us to hear.
Yeah.
So that
interesting.
So when we usually prep for the show, usually about a week. This one we only prep for a few days.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything.
No.
You Google search other than is my phone listening to me, and it tells me what they want me to know.
Yeah.
there was no stories, no data,
But everybody
no
knows
movies.
it. Everybody knows this to be true, and everybody has had some situation where they're like, "This is weird. Why does my phone know this? I haven't looked this up. I haven't." But then nobody's talking about it, which is really strange to me.
Yeah, and everybody's got the story. So if you ask anyone, we did it for some show prep when we was having conversations with people. Hey, you got a story about your phone? List to you? Yep. And they tell a story.
Oh yeah, everybody's got a story.
My wildest one, I played wood bat league baseball, adult baseball, major league rules, wooden bat. I had my own wooden bat, Louisville Slugger, broke it in the middle of the game. Okay. I've never been advertised to for a bat in my life. I break my bat, go home, jump on Facebook to kind of chill out a little bit before bed. It's advertising me a wood bat store.
Yeah.
Who in the world sells wooden bats?
Yeah.
This one store that sells wooden bats says, hey, you got a broken bat. You need to buy a bat. It almost worked. If a sporting goods store hadn't been on the way home, I would have probably just bought it on there. But I needed one bad, so I went the next day and got one.
To provide some context on how that could have happened.
Please
because
provide.
As far
I can't
as,
figure that out.
It's crazy to me.
Because I didn't even mention it yet to anybody.
All it takes is somebody at that game went, oh man, his bat just broke. How much money did that cost? Like, how much does he have to go spend now? He goes and looks it up. His phone gets pinged. It pings your phone.
Wow. So somebody in the dugout watching me break my bat triggered an event.
Could be. I mean, that's just what it could have been. Yeah.
Like, could have been that easy.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
That's too much information for somebody to have, though. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Or if you even, and the thing is, it's actually true. They only know devices. The thing is that devices are, especially Google, know a lot about you and your spending habits and the things you're looking up, and they're creating patterns, and they've got algorithms to create these things that it can really become. It gets creepy because they're just really good at knowing people, because people are predictable.
Yeah.
So the craziest part about all of this to me, though, I've done as much research as I can. And yeah, it's actually really hard to find any information because it's pretty buried. The reason is that the way the whole system is built, the way all the phones are communicating this data, how much data they're communicating, there's not a single person that knows all of it. And I think that's by design. There's no single source that knows the whole thing from beginning to end. There's people that know their pieces of it, and they know what they need to do to give their piece to the next person in the puzzle.
So it's compartmentalized to an extent. Then.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I believe that's intentional.
Okay.
Because, nothing's better than some plausible deniability.
Sure.
Intentional from the government or intentional from big tech?
Big tech. I would say big tech.
Is there much of a separation there? I mean, is big tech and the government that far separated?
Got a little bit of a story on that.
Yeah.
I heard something in a podcast that really freaked me out. Complete conspiracy theory. I didn't even get a chance to research.
It's kind of our gig here.
I don't even know if I can. This is our gig. This is what we do.
It's kind of what we do here.
Yeah.
This is what we do. But
you're in the right zone. This is a safe space.
So
that's right.
So after the break, I'll go into that. That was a wild one. But so is there anything we can do about it?
So
without going full blown in the woods, throw your phones away.
I mean, if you want to get really deep, and technically, no, there's not really anything you can do other than that. But
even that, because this can get caught. So
there are steps you can take that are a little bit safer. One is, be careful about apps that you're downloading. Try to make sure that you're understanding. Like, they always have a reason for why they're asking for the permissions, but try to come up with a use case. Like, why does this need microphone permissions? And one of the things that's probably one app that just about everybody listening to this probably has on their phone, and they should be scared of that, is Snapchat.
Yeah.
Really?
Snapchat is one of the most pervasive apps there is when it comes to this data privacy. Okay. I had a buddy that super, super data conscious, turned off microphone permissions in Snapchat and left them off because he knew that but then when he wanted to record a video, you got to go turn mic permissions back on. He'd turn it on, record his video, turn it back off. Every time he turns it off, it would send him notifications one after another saying, hey, your microphone's off. Hey, turn your microphone back on.
With other things, yeah.
So the craziest thing is, he was getting fed up with it. He deleted the Snapchat app. Without his permission, every time someone started sending him a Snapchat, he would get a text message saying, hey, this person just sent you a Snapchat.
Wow.
So it's like backdoor, like, hey, you can't hide me.
So they're like, hey, you uninstalled the app. We're going to make sure that you want to get back on Snapchat.
Wow. So have you ever seen The Social Dilemma?
I haven't.
It's a documentary on Netflix. It's about this. all the big tech CEOs and former big tech CEOs, they talk about their experience in developing this stuff. They had the guy that created the like button. They had a bunch of Google big CEOs on there that most of them, the reason they were on that movie was because they had pulled out because of how unethical things were getting. That was a big part of the show, was them just like, y'all, this is bad. There's no ethics checks in any of this. So they do that. In the movie, which I kind of like, they had actors playing out scenarios in people's lives that we've all seen. And that was one of them. The family in the movie, the family decided to break away. Hey, we're going to put our phones away. We're getting too addicted. It's becoming a problem. The boy, the young teenager in the group, he put his phone away and it started dinging him. And it showed this was, just people in a room just pretending to be the phone, but they were like, hey, why has he looked at it? And they just start slinging stuff at him that usually gets him back on the phone. Yeah. And that's it.
That's what it is. Yeah. They want you on the phone as much as possible. Oh, yeah. And then that's how they get you hooked. And when you ask me about, how to protect from some of this, you can go to, like I showed you guys, the adssettings.google.com. Okay. That's ADS settings, settings.google.com.
Yep. It's almost like that's overly complicated name.
Yeah.
That's an overly complicated name. They
don't want you to find it.
They don't want you to know that that's there.
But if you go to that page, there's actually a little toggle switch in the top right corner. You can turn off personalized ads, and it essentially does it makes a large step towards trying to protect some of that data. Yeah. The thing is, Google still has that data on you, and you're not going to convince them to let it go.
Yeah, you showed me on that, but it did have a pretty good description of me.
You can go in and see, this is what Google thinks about you, and this is what it's selling to people to try to track you and understand you better. And Google does it really a lot, and Google's very, very bad about it, but just about every app on your phone is doing the same thing.
Yeah. And it had my pay scale, it said you live in this income bracket, what was some of the other stuff? It knew my demographics.
Are you married? Are you not married? Yeah. Do you have kids? Your age range?
I never told it that.
Yeah.
It's just white male guessing.
You may have in a different app though. You may have had to to play this game.
Facebook.
Or Facebook or whatever. You had to play this game and you had to put how old you were for that.
All they're doing, it's all statistics, right? So all they're doing is looking at if you had looked up something for one of your kids and they go, well, we know this guy is in that 18 to 44 age range. Yeah. This is definitely for a 13-year-old. He probably has kids.
Yeah.
They're just using this kind of algorithmic statistical learning that's trying to understand, hey, this is our best guess at this guy. That's why you'll go look. Sometimes it's wrong. A lot of the times they got some things wrong, but it's all just what's the most likely scenario and what's the most likely way we're going to get this guy sold on one of our ads.
Yeah. So we talked about it a little bit when we were first talking about this. It was in a book. I want to say it was in Atomic Habits.
I think it was Atomic Habits. Okay, I don't remember for sure.
So there's a story in the book about it was mail telemarketing. Mm-hmm. What's it called? Junk mail. It was junk mail. Yeah. This guy's 16-year-old daughter started getting advertisements in the mail with her name on it for baby diapers and formula and stuff that a 16-year-old usually wouldn't need.
Right.
So he loses his mind. He gets to writing the company. It was I'm pretty sure it was Target. Anyway,
it was Target. It was Target.
Okay, so it was Target. So he pitches a fit. He takes this. He goes nuclear with this. He's like, no, we ain't doing this. You're trying to influence my daughter to get pregnant. Accuses the whole thing. Pitches a fit. I think it was 2 months later. He had to apologize.
Yeah,
because she was.
Yeah.
Target knew by her buying certain things like cocoa butter and stuff that young pregnant ladies would usually need that she was pregnant and started advertising to her knowing that she was pregnant.
Yep.
Target knew this girl was pregnant
it's
before her family.
It's insane. And all of it is actually, that specific story was talking about just the fact that she was using the Target Red Card.
That's what it was.
And so she's swiping Target's credit card. It's tracking everything she's purchasing and knows everything she purchases. And that's why they do this kind of thing. That's why
this was years ago before
Oh yeah,
iPhones.
it's way worse now.
So,
I mean,
yeah,
you're getting hit at that point. You're getting hit from all angles. I mean, there's not any way to truly protect yourself from any of this unless you only use cash. You only, I mean, and then you're on a camera somewhere.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah. We're doing it.
Speaking of
ourselves.
that, but I mean,
you guys aren't publishing this online, are you? I'm just kidding.
no, we were just keeping it stored in an SD card somewhere for later. But I mean, there's no way around it. Somebody's tracking you for something all the time. Mm-hmm. Seems to be to sell you something. Yeah. But I mean, you can look at Israel right now and what they just did to Hamas.
Jeez, that's scary.
Think of how terrifying that is.
Yeah.
These guys went and bought pagers because they went, we'll be safe that way. Uh-huh. Guess what? Some of them don't have testicles anymore because they had that thought.
Boom.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And then they said, all right, no more pagers. Let's go walkie-talkies.
And then...
Just kidding.
There goes.
Kaboom. Boom. I mean, there's no way around it.
No, what do you do about that?
You can be tracked with anything at that point.
Yeah.
Well, and I've got some points on that because there is this thing. It's the California Consumer Protection Act or Privacy Act. I don't remember which one. It's CCPA.
Okay.
This is why you started seeing a lot of links at the bottom of websites that say, do not sell my private information. Okay. This is legislation that says, hey, we should be able to protect our consumers. And the thing is, it actually works, right? If you use that do not sell my information, that's legally binding that they have to stop selling your information.
Do you get to keep your kidney then?
You do get to keep your kidney. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Actually. I mean, you signed a different contract for that one. But so this is actually trying to protect, it's trying to protect consumers. Mm-hmm. And it does work. There are other ways you can actually go in and make people stop selling. I don't remember the resources. If I can find them, I'll get them to you guys. There's some links that you can go to. There are some of the major brokers of private information. And if you go to their website and you tell them, stop it, then they have to.
Okay.
So I'll get those links. I'll find out what they are. I don't want to say what it is without knowing off the top of my head and say something wrong.
Yeah.
But
we'll try to link them in the video or in the description somewhere.
Yeah.
You can get them to us. Yeah.
So, but I've also got some more information on that, but I think we want to take a break here soon.
Yeah, it's a break time.
Yeah, I think so.
Sweet. Yeah, we're going to take a break, do some plugs, reset some cameras, and we'll be back in a minute. Sweet. Let's do some plugging. YouTube somehow blew up this week,
really weird.
which was fun to watch.
That was cool.
Don't understand it still. We're learning the algorithm part. You got any ideas on why that popped?
No, I have no idea, but we're thankful that it did.
Super thankful.
So everybody go check it out.
Yeah.
Leave us a like, share it with some people.
We've been begging people to have conversations about these subjects that we talk about. Usually pretty deep, usually a lot of opinions on a lot of it because it's always a shrouded reality. But it's a good conversation popped off on the Little G Guides episode. Go check it out. It was a good back and forth, and it was civil. Nobody called anybody an idiot. It was just like, hey, I've got this idea, and what about this? And where's your reference? And they shared the reference, and it was sweet. Yeah,
it was really cool.
Yeah,
really cool to check out.
Go check it out. But
everybody go check out shroudedrealities.com. We've got merch. We got shirts. We got stickers. You can put stickers on anything. That's the cool thing about stickers. You just go put it somewhere, and it stays because it's a sticker. Yeah, it sticks there.
It does. That's cool. And then links to everything. So if you're watching on YouTube and you want to go listen on Spotify in your car, it's there. It's got links there for it. So we make it easy. We try to make it easy for people to find us.
One-stop shop. That's right.
One-stop shop. But quick shout out to KO Forbes, JM Smith. They were the ones having the big conversation on YouTube. So we really do appreciate that. I mean, that's awesome. Sold another shirt. Speaking of merch, a good
whole shirt.
Yeah, and a bunch of stickers. She hooked herself up with some stickers.
She knows the idea of stickers is you stick them somewhere and they stick. It's
Don't
pretty
go
cool.
anywhere.
That's great.
It's awesome.
They did a great job with that name. Honestly.
They really did.
It's like they really thought about that.
They did. They're like, what is this? What's the use case of this?
It sticks places. Stickers.
Stickers.
That's it.
That's perfect.
Jeez, does anybody got a trademark on that, you think?
Absolutely.
You think so?
You think there's no way somebody has a trademark stickers.
It was trademarked at some point, but it was like one of those cases where the trademark expires because it becomes a colloquial term for all of it. That's all it is.
Like Frigidaire?
Frigidaire, or like a Band-Aids.
My papa used to call it Frigidaire, refrigerator.
This is really random because I ever noticed that the Band-Aid song used to be stuck on Band-Aids because Band-Aids stuck on me, right? Now they say stuck on Band-Aid brand.
Yep.
Because they were trying to make sure that they didn't lose their trademark because it was becoming too much of a...
What?
Yeah. Same with like Kleenex. Kleenex was running into the same issue.
Huh. Learned something.
That's so
we
crazy.
learned something in the break.
Okay, now the use
This
case
is
going
why we
back.
bring on smart people.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, we've got idiots. We got
We
three idiots.
a
We got a
room full
smart
of
guy.
idiots usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're missing Connor today.
Okay, now the test is, let's see if we get Band-Aid ads on our phones after this.
That's
If we do,
or
stickers.
Band-Aid reaches out to us to sponsor the
Oh,
show.
yeah, no.
I'd
See-
wear Band-Aids all over my face if that happened.
I would too.
That would be great.
I'm not saying that up for sale, but I kind of am.
You are.
too.
I kinda
You
am.
are.
But yeah, check out all this stuff, man. We appreciate everybody listening. We appreciate the love we've got this past week. Yeah, we got a bunch of subscribers, so welcome to the new subscribers. And yeah, let's get back to the show. Yeah, so where do we want to go here? I do want to mention. So we couldn't. There was not a lot of places to prep. There was not a whole lot of podcasts about this
wasn't.
subject. Not a lot of movies. Not a
I've
lot
heard
of
people
documentaries.
talk about it, but
everybody talks about it.
I mean, everybody talks about it, but there's not any information that's like legitimate out there
Yeah,
that I can
Zach
find.
gave me more information than
Yeah.
I've had in a long time.
In the
on this
first
information.
the first 20 minutes of this conversation, I've learned more than I've learned from
Yeah.
everybody's anecdotal evidence.
Yeah.
So
one of the podcasts we do listen to, let's get to the bottom of that. Love those guys. Go check them out. We're actually communicating with them a little bit, hoping to get on their show eventually. Do
That'd be pretty sweet.
Do a little collab thing, maybe go on their show, and that'll be a little cross promotion, but that would be stinking awesome. But anyway, they had an episode on big tech. One of the stories they had, not sure if it was real, didn't get to research it to validify it, but apparently the guy that the first president of Facebook.
Zuckerberg,
No, the other one. The one that
the
did.
president.
Yeah, the
I don't
one.
know who the
the one
president
that
was.
did. Spamster.
Is that one guy that did that one thing?
Yeah. Timberlake played him in the movie.
Oh, even better. I didn't see that
You never
movie.
seen the movie?
No, I have no idea what you're
The
talking
social.
about.
The
No,
name-
what was
Social
the name of
network.
it?
Yeah,
Social network.
I'm not. The name is escaping me. I don't remember his name.
I'll look it up. But anyway, he. I'll put his picture up on YouTube.
There you
That's
go.
usually what
Does
I
he
do
look
when-
like a lizard?
No.
Are you just
Is he
gonna
a
put up a
lizard guy?
He's
Like-
not a lizard guy. It's
not like
almost- It's a
Zuckerberg.
little scarier though.
Are you gonna put up a picture
Okay.
of just Timberlake instead, and
That would be great.
Maybe both.
Just Justin Timberlake.
Maybe both. Hey, look, the first president of Facebook is
Justin Timberlake.
But yeah, he so apparently that guy, I'll look his name up here in a second. He was recruited by CIA as a 16-year-old, like computer super genius hacker, and was recruited in. In the movie, don't know how real the movie is, but in the movie, he kind of inserted himself into Facebook.
Okay.
Where it gets creepy is the government was working on trying to, again, this is all conspiracy theory. Don't know if it's real. It's what I heard. They had a system where they were learning how to use your phone and use our encrypted data to have everything on us.
Yeah.
And the government was hanging on to that information. According to the conspiracy I heard, that program got shut down, and then guess what started the next day? Facebook.
Hmm.
And then a few years later, Facebook kind of blows up. Insert CIA agent, supposedly.
Yeah.
Take that for what you will. Just
Maybe.
what I heard.
I mean, yeah. Do you think that the U.S. government wouldn't do that? I think that they would,
Yeah, I think that.
especially the CIA.
And the Patriot Act kind of started that. It was like, hey, here's a bad thing that happened, 9/11.
Yeah.
We've got to get access to all your stuff for your own safety.
I mean,
And then they had free reign of everything in the guise of, we're protecting you.
never let a crisis go to waste,
We're
right?
looking
I mean,
for
you can't-
terrorists. Yeah, we're not listening to your phone. We're looking for terrorists.
This is not for. Don't worry about your. What is it? The 14th Amendment? Is that the one that everybody says is, or is it the 4th Amendment? I don't know. I'm an idiot. But they're literally circumventing your rights in the Patriot Act, big time.
Yeah.
So that actually brings up an interesting point. This is kind of what I was hinting at before the break.
Sean Parker,
Sean
first
Parker.
president of Facebook.
Justin Timberlake's brother.
Justin
Gotcha.
Timberlake. Got it. So this is what I was hinting at before the break, is that this whole California Consumer Privacy Act, is
That sounds right.
yeah,
I like it.
either privacy
Sounds
or protection, one of the two. That there's actually one large entity that's exempt from this because it's not really a retailer and it's local, it's government.
Yeah.
Like the government is exempt from these CCPA laws.
Wow.
Interesting.
So now the people that you're required to give all your personal information if you want to do anything like drive, they can sell it. Like there's nothing stopping them, and you can't stop them.
Who are they selling it to?
Advertisers.
Advertising. So this all comes
Whoever
back
wants
so
it.
they can market things to you.
Yeah, it's all about. That's why there's actually only a very, very small amount of very large private information brokers. That basically
wait, say that again.
There is a very small amount. There's like a couple of large private information brokers. These people have all the information.
There's people that their job is to sell data on people.
Yeah.
How do you get that gig?
Creepy.
How do you get that gig?
It's just these major companies that they collect files on everybody. They buy them from local government. They buy them from advertisers. They buy them from whoever, and they sell them to whoever will pay for it.
Wow.
In the world?
That's where things get a little bit more tricky. I don't know how that works, but potentially.
So
China makes and sells everything.
Yeah.
TikTok's owned by China, so
yeah, I mean that's probably that leads there if it's not there.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you start looking at places like China where they have a social credit score and all of these things, which we've talked about in the US, if they have all this information on you, your social credit score goes into the tank. Yeah. If you don't believe whatever the Communist Party of China believes, then you have a lower social credit score. That limits your access to everything because they have this information on you.
Yep.
So they already have one part of that now. They already have the information. I mean, all that's got to be is, okay, yeah, we're going to enact this social credit score, and now we already have all this information on you. You are a 320 now. So you can't go buy a car. You're not eligible for a house. You're not eligible for, you only get this much in food rations.
He must really know you because he put that score probably about where I would put it too.
Yeah,
that
I felt like that was a solid number.
That puts it right
like a 465. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what the grade is.
It sounds
there,
like something a 320 would say.
That's right.
That's where this is going. So you're going to start being classified.
There's actually like a Black Mirror episode about that. So,
so
the whole rating system. You guys see that? Yeah.
That's what creeps me out.
I mean, there's already...
It's subjective, but
the thing is this use case has already been in the world. There are countries that use that social credit score today.
So as
we're already moving towards a one world government. We all know that. So you think the United Nations is not going to throw that in?
I absolutely love. There's this video I saw. This guy was talking about how he was traveling in Singapore, and he was talking about like this is one of the safest countries. It's like I'm going to go leave my laptop in this coffee shop for an hour and I'm going to come back. And he came back and he was like, see, it's still there. Nobody took it. He's like, that would, if I left that in a big city in, America, that would be gone. And he started talking about, it's because it's about the culture and everything. And he was like, and also there are cameras everywhere. You are constantly you're never somewhere where you're not. And so nobody wants to because there's massive fines associated with stealing and you're just always being watched.
Well, the big difference about that here is in a big city in the U.S., we just quit prosecuting people who do bad things anyway. So we just give it away.
There's not enough room in prison for them.
Yeah, we've already run out.
Jeez, so there was a certain little situation as you're talking to me about that happened about 4 years ago that brings all of this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay. So don't have to say it. Everybody knows what happened in 2020.
Yeah.
But
so I actually have.
Could have been that could have been part of the test.
I have a note about that.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember? This is all just to point out our phones are constantly talking to each other. I mean, that's actually why things like AirTags work, is because of the amount of communication between the devices, right?
I always wondered that.
That's how, like, if you ever used an AirTag and you can find out that it will track down to like within inches, like it's very, very accurate. It's because it's constantly pinging its location off all the available iPhones nearby or Apple devices nearby.
Or the Google Nest or...
Well, with Apple devices specific. AirTag is only looking at Apple devices.
Okay.
But, so, do you guys remember? Shortly after COVID started, we got a...
what do they call it?
There was contact tracing.
There it is, contact tracing.
It was built into your phone. They're like, you just got to download the right app. and then it just works, and the contact tracing just works right away.
Well, or your phone just auto-installed it, because that's what happened to mine.
Well, no, see, the thing is, your phone was already doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had
All they had to do was go, oh, well, we just have to give them some kind of user interface.
Wow.
That's all they had to do. Give you a user interface.
I do remember a thing going around that was like, this is how you cut this off.
Yeah.
And you could go into your settings and cut that off.
Well, all you probably did was cut it off from showing it to you. You didn't cut off what the actual use case was.
The man was in the background going, he thinks he cut it off.
He said,
Sucker.
no. What an idiot.
You just turned off the user interface. That's all you did.
Yeah,
And they're like, okay, we'll just keep doing this.
He feels better
then.
because he pressed a button.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sucker. So where else can we go with this?
I mean, where could it not go? I mean, this is... It seems like you're just being marketed to, but I think there's a lot more to it than that. And it's going to become a lot more than that. And being on the fact that nobody wants to talk about it and that nobody is having this conversation of where this eventually leads is what's terrifying to me. Everybody knows it's there. We've already said that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this is happening. And we're all just like, whatever.
Yeah, that's why I want to have this conversation. That's why I love this platform. Is it?
And the reason people don't want to talk about it is because talking about it means you have to confront the convenience of having your phone with you.
Yeah. That's 100% correct.
Would either of you, even knowing all of this, go to the Verizon store right now and go get a flip phone?
No.
I don't think I could keep my job. Not that my job would say you're fired because of it, but I couldn't be good at my job without it.
Yeah. I mean,
I couldn't stay connected. I couldn't.
The convenience of having a computer in your pocket to have information whenever I need it, to be able to sit and watch a movie if I want to, that would be it would be really hard to get rid of.
Yeah.
I don't see how you do it.
So they did
in today's world.
They did talk about this in the Social Dilemma. There's steps that you can take to pull away from it. Zach, you gave a couple of them, but it's a conscious decision that you have to make and do, and make the small adjustments in your life so that you don't get sucked into it so hard. There's levels of it, like being watched, that I don't think we get away from ever.
Oh,
but
there's actually there was a city, I can't remember the name of the city, but they approved these AI security cameras to be installed around the city that would actually have the right to surveil what was going on. And it was very, what's that, Minority Report?
Yeah.
In the sense that they were trying to predict potential crimes and get police on the scene of where they thought a crime could happen, because they were using these AI security cameras that were watching everything.
That's messed up on a bunch of levels.
Oh yeah, the city hated it. It was fought by the residents.
It should have been. Yeah, it definitely should have been fought because, well, we think that there could be a crime. That guy's a criminal. Arrest him now, and he's not done anything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where that ends up.
And that was the whole thing. They were trying to tell everybody, oh no, we're not going to. This is just to try to predict where a crime might happen by watching cars, reading license plates, watching traffic, and saying, okay, this car keeps going to this spot. Maybe we should go check it out, kind of thing.
Yeah, suspicion is not a crime. That's
profiling.
a problem. Yeah. Suspicion is not a crime. You don't get to do
profiling.
that.
Yeah.
Interesting. So is it? Do you think we're safer and better off as a society with the technology, knowing the drawbacks?
No, I don't think we're safer at all. I mean, I just think that you're never going to convince everybody that it's dangerous enough that it's not worth the convenience to them.
Yeah. And they've done such a good job of learning how to manipulate, control, keep you addicted, keep you engaged. And that it's
I've been researching algorithm for what we do.
Yeah.
And the whole goal is to keep people on that platform, that's the whole purpose of
We're
an
now
algorithm.
part of the problem.
Yeah, we're part of it 100%. I mean, because what's our goal? What's our goal? Our goal is to keep people interested in what we're doing, grow a user base.
Next thing you know, you guys are going to have a geofencing campaign for people that are interested.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to do it at some Bigfoot convention somewhere. We're going to set up a geofence and be like, hey, start sending them Shroud Reality ads. Yeah.
We need to do a Bigfoot episode, by the way.
Yeah, we do. We really need to have one of those.
He's our main character on our logo.
Yeah, and we hadn't even talked about him.
I think that's the first time you've said Bigfoot on the show.
Wow. You're welcome, Bigfoot.
Now you're going to get all the search results for Bigfoot, too.
Yeah,
And
that's
that
right.
helps. That helps. So we just talk about all the things. Talk about the Braves in the World Series coming up.
Yeah,
they got put out. But,
I was about to say, we're not going to talk about the Braves in the
But
World
it's
Series
in the news.
we're garbage.
It's in the news because they got put out.
That's right.
Where are we at on time right now?
We're at 44 minutes.
Sweet. Okay.
we're
We got a little time. But so we in the social dilemma, they kind of talk about that, about how to pull away from it a little bit and how to make your life a little bit healthier. Go tell a 13-year-old girl to not get on her phone.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
It's not happening.
And if you try to even explain, this is why, they go, I don't
It's
care.
not worth it.
Yeah.
Like, the whole concept of it is pretty complex. And the only way you actually start to understand it is because you want to.
Yeah.
And so trying to explain it to somebody who doesn't want to know,
Yeah.
it's not going to happen.
So your attention is what's being sold, and they've gotten so good at keeping your attention to where they can sell to you.
Yeah.
So they can place ads into whatever it is.
And then you're going to buy stuff, and I've done it. Like,
Yeah,
Sure.
done it.
100%. We did it for this show.
Yeah.
They sent you something for stickers on your Facebook.
And I bought it.
And guess what? We got stickers now that everybody should go buy.
You should go get, and they're pretty cool too, especially the way they work.
Yeah.
Have you heard how stickers work? They stick
Really?
to things.
I appreciate that.
It's a big deal. It's a newfangled idea that some guy had.
So the latest one is they know that we think our background sucks in this show because I've talked about it openly.
Yeah.
And it's been throwing hard at me, these big neon
I've been getting it
signs.
too.
You've been getting those too?
Yeah, I have.
Neon signs. I got one that says you're live on it. I really want that.
Do you know why you've been getting those? Because I looked one up.
Thanks a
Bingo.
lot.
You
I
did
looked
it.
one.
It was your
I
fault.
looked one up.
It's okay.
I got an ad for it, and I said, "Hey, that would be cool."
Yeah.
So I built one out, customized it, did the whole thing, just to see what the
I did
price
too
was.
with one of them.
Boom.
Yeah.
And here I was thinking it was my fault because I was actually looking up LED panels last time I was on
No
campus.
way.
So
Fourth
that.
screen down.
there you go.
That's
There
the
it
one.
is.
Is this the one that you looked at?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm not going to say the name because they're not sponsoring us. Maybe they could.
Hey,
Maybe
if
they
y'all
send us a free one.
Send a sign and then we'll.
Yeah, but look, fourth one down. Boom, there it was.
Yeah.
You just showed it to the camera.
that's okay.
I was scrolling fast. They didn't say nothing.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Sure.
I can teach you how to do the pixelation and the editing software.
Oh, sweet.
There you
So we
go.
can do. See, that's
We're
why we
learning
brought you on.
things.
I need my face pixelized
Yeah.
for this, by the way.
Yeah, I
We
can
probably
give you.
all do.
Yeah,
Just go ahead
probably.
and-
We had the idea beginning that we
Wear
should
masks.
wear masks and be like dark and mythical and just like you don't know who we are. And
Be
Steven's like,
mythical or mystical?
I'm an idiot.
We're gonna be
Both.
mythical creatures.
Both. Yeah, I was gonna wear a Bigfoot mask. But Steven was like, I can't breathe for that in an hour.
No,
There's
I'm not
no
doing
way.
that.
So we
It'd
just,
be really funny if you just spent the whole time wearing the COVID-19 mask.
my biggest
No,
regret.
if you, yeah, we've learned if you say COVID-19 3 times, and Anthony Fauci comes up and shoots you with a Moderna
Yeah. Jab. Everything goes to COVID-19 with us.
It does.
It does. Let's.
I wonder why.
You got any final thoughts? Anything we're forgetting?
I don't think so.
Anything,
I'm sure there's
anything
something
to
I'll
save
think
the
of.
world.
No.
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 That's
No.
why we brought you on, is to save the world. What's going
That's
on?
too
man?
bad. It's doomed.
Kind of did. You brought more information than we've ever brought to this
That's
show.
right. I mean, and it's going to be hard to break away, and for us, it's almost impossible. But
Yeah.
maybe just we're going to talk about the brain rot that comes along with this at some point,
Yeah.
and
I think that's gonna be next week.
that may be next week, talking about the brain rot with this stuff and why your attention span is garbage.
Yeah.
Why we probably have the worst retention ever right now. It's
Why
'cause-
the word skibbity is a thing.
yeah, Skibbity Ohio, Riz Phantom Tax. What about that?
No
How you
cap.
feel about that?
No
That,
cap,
that
yep.
just got you in the algorithm.
Yeah, you
That's what
think
you're
I-
looking
hey,
for.
You think I didn't do that on purpose?
Jeez.
Put that in the description.
So we're missing Connor today.
Yeah.
We mentioned it a little
We
bit.
need
We're all going to be back together again next
Yeah,
week. I'm pretty
next week Connor's
excited.
back. Yeah, Steven was out the week before on vacation. Connor's out in school this week. But the boys will be back in town next week all
That's
together. Ruby too. We're missing Ruby the podcast dog today. But Zach, man, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
real, you brought a wealth of information that we didn't have.
I made it all up.
Sweet. You made us
Even
look
better because you did it so well.
You made us look super, super smart.
That's right.
Maybe a little. I mean, you make us look smart because we're idiots already, so we're there. But
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I just know a good mask to put on. It makes me look
right.
smarter.
Anthony Fauci.
Oh, there it goes.
ShroudedRealities.com. Go tell us how dumb we are. Check out our YouTube. Join us in the comment section. Patreon.com. Hook us up. And for Steven, Zach and Joey, we appreciate you listening.
Thanks, guys.